Hey everybody, and welcome back to Unbox Analysis. Today we are back with another TEMU haul. This time, it's pretty specific. We're going with TEMU knives. So instead of wasting a whole bunch of time, you can see I have some paper here. I have a piece of wood here. That's how I'm going to test knives because I have no other idea how to do it. But if you guys like the knife hauls, there's a whole ton of other websites we can check out, from AliExpress to Amazon to eBay. Who knows? But without that, let's jump into it. Some of these I have opened up and checked out. As you can see, some of them I have not. I wanted to save my surprise for the camera, but let's just say what I saw so far, I was impressed. The most expensive knife here was $16.18. We'll get to that. One of the other knives I ordered wasn't a knife. I thought it was. I didn't read closely. It is a Lego set that builds this. Seems cool. I may or may not build it. If I don't get to it in this video, I will get to it. Maybe we'll stick it up on the wall. So, starting out, we got this knife here. Fake leather, okay. Nice looking case though. It's got real thick binding right around where the blade goes. A little bit of a snap, let's pop it out. Ooh, man. So, I don't know or think this is actual Damascus, but that looks good. You can see it has a full tang construction. That means the metal goes all the way to the end. You got two rivets there and this nice wood handle. All right, so we're gonna do two different tests with most of these knives. We're gonna start with the paper test. Anybody who's seen a knife review knows what the paper test is, but for those who don't, here is the paper test. We take the paper without holding it too firmly. We see if it will cut it. And that cut very sharply. Let's try it again over here. Yeah. Without supporting the paper at all, she just cuts right through it. Whew. So I don't know exactly what these are made out of, but that has, here, look at the overhead. That has zero flex. That is a solid knife. I don't know how long they're gonna last. I don't exactly know how well they're gonna withstand the elements. Now I did notice the handle here could use a little bit better staining there. Actually, it has some dust from the factory. Check that out. Also, I noticed that right here in the very end, if you can see that, this Damascus-ish design actually goes through the whole metal. Now that's kind of a neat little touch. They did not have to add that. That's kind of cool. All right, this knife here, I'm gonna rate this knife a 7 out of 10. Now I'm only saying 7 because the case isn't real leather, but it's still a nice case. And because we're starting over, I might re-rate these as we go. On to knife number 2. This appears to be more of a basic knife. As usual, prices will be up here. Now, I did recently get asked to make the prices slightly bigger, leave them on slightly longer, so here you go. All right, so this one says it's an electrician's knife. Now, I do a lot of electrical work. I'm not sure I'd use a knife like this. I tend to stick with razor blades for the whole electrician thing. All right. Ooh, that's got a interesting, ooh, that's kind of sketchy. It's very hard to open and it's got a very strong latch. It's hard to see, but this one almost looks dirty inside of here. And this one feels quite a bit chintzier than the last one. The metal, it's like some kind of folded aluminum possibly for the handle. I mean, overall, it probably serves its purpose. It just, after starting with this one, not super impressed by this one already. But let's give it the paper test. In every 3 knives, we'll go back, we'll do the wood test. Okay, got part way through. So this one's not quite as sharp as the first one, but this is a folding blade. Not quite as sharp. Comparatively to the first one, we're gonna go ahead and rate this one a 4 because it is solid steel, it works, but not the fanciest thing in the world. Jumping right along to the coolest one I saw through the package. Look at that handle. It's got this nice little beaded edge. Still not real leather, I think. It's very hard to tell with this one. Ooh, look at that. I don't know exactly how they make these this cheap. I mean, it's real metal. Like, how cheap does metal actually get? Again, the tang all the way through the handle. Got a couple nice rivets sitting nice and flush, and that really cool color there. Look at that. All right, let's jump to the paper test. Like butter. That just slices through. Okay, that is sharp. That is very sharp. Woo. All right. I'm super excited. I didn't know I'd be excited about knives, but these are, 2 of the 3 are already impressing me quite a bit. Okay, here's the wood test. If you're a person who cares about knives, this might make you cringe a little bit. I apologize, but I feel like it's a good way to test the strength and sharpness of a knife. Okay, so here's our piece of wood. Now, real quick, safety first, sort of. I should probably be wearing gloves. Disclaimer, don't try this at home. Gonna put the safety glasses on here, get our piece of wood, then we'll start with knife number 1. Cool Damascus look. All right, we're just gonna, seems to get an all right chop in there. Now we'll try the, so this could definitely shave some wood. Heck yeah. All right, let me know what you think. All right, sketchy knife number 2. I just say sketchy because this one doesn't quite feel as solid, but we'll give it a shot. Pretty small indents, about half the size of the first knife. Not exactly sure how well a knife should work cutting through wood, but this is the test, guys. This is what we're doing. All right, and the sharp one, knife number 3. Oh yeah, that goes way further in. And this will just shave off pieces. Oh yeah. So by far, this is our sharpest one. So out of each one, when I go through the groups of 3, we're gonna set the best one, sharpest, strongest, off to the side. And at the end, we'll go through and pick our favorite one here. Moving right in, it looks like a couple of these are smaller little gag type gifts or letter openers. So we're gonna go through a couple of those because we are not gonna give those the full sharpness test. You'll see why. So this one came in a set of 4 and it just looks super cute. It's just kind of neat. Look at this little tiny cleaver. Feels somewhat sharp. We can still give this one the paper test. Okay, it fails the paper test. That's probably how the rest of these little ones are gonna go. Again, price is up here. Let me know what you think about these. I think these are more for display, just something kind of neat. So it does have the full tang construction still. You got your little tiny rivet, and then it looks like it's got a little bit of glue sticking out, holding the metal to the wood, but they're not sharp. All right, so here's all of them here. They come with these little chains. Looks like you can put them on a necklace or a keychain or something. They're just kind of little metal ones. They're pointy, but they're not really sharp. I still don't think I'd put this on a keychain though. That's just asking for trouble. Next up, we have this, what appears to be a letter opener wrapped in a lot of plastic. So it's got kind of a neat looking design to it. It's got the keychain, except again, I don't know if I'd put this on a keychain because like if you hook this to the keychain and then it tips upside down, she slides right out. I mean, it looks really cool though. Be a nice little letter opener, just kind of neat. Somebody's got like a little set with some toys. They want to prop this up on a shelf. Might be worth checking out. Coming up next, we have this one, which appears like it's made to be put on a shelf. It does have its own little plastic stand here. We'll check that out. All right, looks like it's pretty simple to put together. You got 3 pieces and then a cross member. All right, and then we have the miniature katana. So here's the actual blade itself. Not really a blade, it's not sharp, like at all. Like this wouldn't cut anything really, but it looks pretty neat. Feels like it's built pretty solid. And it has a button release. So if you put it in, it locks in there pretty good. Hit the button, and it kind of pops out just a little bit. Kind of a neat little gimmicky thing here. Let's jump into the next 3 normal size ones here. Oh, check this out. Yes, I'm smelling it because I want to know if it's real leather or not. Don't judge me. All right, this one's got a real leather strap on it. Bonus points. And look at that. Huh. Oh, no way. Look at the design on the blade. I have no idea how they do that coloring, and I imagine if you actually use this as a knife, it probably wouldn't stay. But in the meantime, that looks super neat. All right, let's test the rigidity. A little bit of flex, but not much. Handle and the sheath feels super solid. All right, let's do the old paper test. Okay, got one. All right, so this little sucker is sharp. Oh, this is like a bigger version of the same thing. Man, that's got some weight to it. If you guys want to know how much things like this weigh, let me know. I can always bring a scale out. It's not something I really thought about. But yeah, let me know down in the comments. If you have any specific things you'd like to see when I'm reviewing stuff, let me know. I try to fix them, like when they ask for, longer prices and brighter. I try to accommodate. I want to make the videos good for you guys. Okay. So this one has a name on it called the D2. Can't quite read the writing there, but this thing feels absolutely monstrous. It is just super solid. Now I did notice that it has a full thing of metal going around the edge, but that is not connected to the blade. I'm guessing the blade does at least go down to the second rivet, but this thing just feels super solid. Case appears to be made out of real wood. Kind of sounds like plastic, but it feels like wood. All right, let's get to the paper test. Seems to cut through with zero issue. Okay, that's cool. Also, I would like to do more knife reviews, tests in the future, comparisons. What other things would you like to see me test them with? I'm just using the paper and the wood today because it seemed like a fun idea, but I'm open to other ideas. I thought about using food, but it's not really cooking knives. So make sure to let me know down below. This one looks completely different from everything else. So this one is round. Looks like it's got a little holder here to connect to something and a belt loop. Feels solid. Oh, we got a twist. All right. Oh, that's interesting. Kind of wasteful space-wise, but it's interesting. It's got a threaded cap here, which threads onto the base. A little more secure, I suppose. Do a little flex. That's not flexing, that is solid. The brand on the side is Huang Fu. I mean, the handle feels nice. It's definitely different that it's round. All right, let's grab one of these used sheets of paper and see what she'll cut. Yeah, seems pretty sharp. Jump into the wood test now. Safety glasses are still on. We're gonna move to a different corner of the wood. No cuts here. And we will start with the first one. This one's a little small. I'm not expecting much because it doesn't have a lot of weight to it, unlike the other two. Yeah, this won't go in very far. Looks like it will shave the wood pretty good. It's just that it has no weight to it. Well, let's try that again because I want to see if we wear off any of that color. No, doesn't appear that any color is wearing off, so not bad. That one, I'm gonna give it a solid 6 or a 7 just because it looks super neat. I don't exactly know what you use it for. I kind of forgot to rate most of these already. I'll put ratings in the editing though. All right, I expect great things from this because it is huge. Now, you'll notice I'm keeping my hands way away from the actual blades, trying to be safe in whatever manner I can. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's just demolishing it. Not really doing any better with the shave test, but this thing will cut. This thing is tough. So far, this one might have to be in my first 8 out of 10. This thing's pretty awesome. Maybe even a 9. Actually, fun little thing to do if you want. Go rate these knives down below for me. Let's compare, see what you guys would rate these over what I would rate them. We got the round, lock-in, threaded silver one. Again, not a lot of weight behind it. So let's go to a fresh spot. I mean, she'll get in there. She's pretty sharp, but she won't go very deep. because not a lot of weight to it. Looks like no damage to the blade from our test. Feels pretty solid. I'd rank this one probably a 6 or a 7 just because it's kind of odd. I don't hate it, but it's just the giant circle tube is a little odd for me. All right, so the winner of round 2 is gonna have to be this one for me. And in case you were wondering, yes, I do have a bunch of wood shavings on my floor. Secure X. This has got kind of a modern survival look to it. Pretty solid plastic. Got some riveted screws in here for the belt clip. Okay. It locks in there really good. All right, that one locked in there way too good, like almost in there too strong. Little sketchy getting it out because you don't want it to go flying out of your hand or something. So overall, handle feels nice. The plastic itself seems a little cheap, but no flex. She seems solid. All right, it's made by a company called Kobun, and it says cold steel 8A Taiwan, except Taiwan is spelled with a 1. All right, on to the paper test. I don't know if it's me doing this wrong or if the knife isn't that sharp. Okay. All right, no, she's pretty sharp. You can see it's tearing a little bit though, so it might not be as sharp as the last couple. Smells like real leather. Okay. It's got a nice little design in the side here. It looks like a feather. And here is this knife. So I guess the whole design of this thing is a feather. It is pretty light. It's pretty thin, but it's strong. Doesn't feel great in the hand for using, but as a novelty item, this thing looks phenomenal. Check the detail out there. You'll notice, if you can see it, the detail runs all the way through this open slit, down through the handle. Jump into the paper test. She is sharp. I don't think it's gonna do much on the wood, but it is sharp. Now, real quick, we're gonna jump over to something else. I was sent over a monitor. Let's check it out. This portion of the video is sponsored by J-Link. They sent me over their new 32-inch, 240Hz gaming monitor. Overall, it looks fantastic. It's currently on sale for $229 on Amazon, and 240Hz with a 15R curved screen with a 1 millisecond response time is pretty solid for the price. This is more of an initial impressions than a review here on this product. I just want to show it to you guys. I'm going to put in the link down below. This will get reviewed more heavily in the future because this is going directly into my setup. I really need a third monitor to help me out with editing. I currently use an MSI and a Biotech 32-inch curved, so this is going to fit in perfectly. Overall, stand is solid. You have quite a bit of motion in your articulation here. I'd say a good 20 degrees. Down here on the bottom, you have a display port, 2 HDMI, a USB-A, and then another USB for a hub, plus a headphone input. Over here on the side, you have a lock you can use to lock it, secure it if you're at a workplace or whatnot. Then over here on the other side, you have your nub for controlling all of your settings. Now this monitor is also G-Sync and FreeSync compatible, which makes it a very, very good monitor to use for gaming, whether you're using NVIDIA or AMD. Overall, solid, super fast response time, 0 input latency, not 0, 1 millisecond, and I believe it. I've tested it out just a little bit with one game, nothing crazy. Like I said, I will review this further in the future, but for now, I just wanted to show it to you and thank J-Link for sponsoring this portion of the video. If you're interested in checking out this monitor at a current 15% off, check it out in the link below. Again, thanks to J-Link for sending that over. That is gonna be awesome in my setup at 240 Hertz. Appreciate you guys watching that. Let's jump back into the knives. Last one isn't gonna have 3, it's gonna have 4, so we can have an even, we can use up the rest of the knives here. This thing, this is one I did open because it was super heavy. I'm like, there's no way that this thing was only $15. It says Gerber on it. If you buy knives or you hunt or you fish, you've seen the Gerber knives. They range anywhere from $10 to hundreds of dollars, right? Pretty high quality stuff for the price usually. But if this is a real Gerber, either way, this knife was right around $15. You know how it is, price up here. This thing is completely solid. The handle is like a rubbery plastic, but it feels great in the hand. Look how thick that is. It is crazy strong. I mean, this thing is not bending for anything. And the case, nice belt loop built in. You have another one here for a side mount belt. And the actual plastic itself, super solid. I cannot believe that this here was $15. Now it says made in USA, Portland, Oregon. I don't know how true that is. It did come from TEMU. So take that part with a grain of salt. But what I will tell you is this is probably the most solid thing I've ever bought from TEMU. I mean, it is tough. All right, let's paper test it. Yeah, I mean, it cuts that stuff all right, but I guess overall that sharpness isn't quite as sharp as the rest, but I think this will do great on the wood test, which we'll get to after this next knife. This one's got kind of a karambit look to it. Got the little ring in the end. Fake leather. Oh, check that out. Try to get this to focus here. It looks kind of like mountains, and these are actual like levels in the steel. They're not like printed on. Actually, none of the stuff on here except for maybe the shiny one. None of the stuff here was like printed on. It's like actually in the metal, which I don't know a lot about making knives, but that impresses me. Super full tang, like solid all the way through to the ring. And then you got your 2 rivets there. And the wood handle feels pretty good with the pinky through. If you don't put the pinky through, it feels too short. All right, let's do the paper test. Okay, that is super sharp. I don't even have to go fast with that. Very sharp. All right, that leaves these 4 left. Now, before we do the final test and then deem our final winner, there was just a couple other fun ones in there. I don't know what they are, but they were small. Oh, well, that one is actually just a utility knife, a razor blade utility knife. Being a utility knife, I imagine, super sharp. We're not going to test this one on the wood because I don't want to break it and hurt myself. I mean, it feels solid. Got real solid clicks to it. Cool. Oh, and this one appears to be a kit where you put together a fake knife. It is a puzzle military knife. That is kind of neat. I'm not going to put this together. I'm going to give this away to one of the commenters for free. This isn't like a giveaway. You don't have to comment anything about this. I'm just going to pick somebody at random and give it away to them. Let's do the wood test with our last few here and see where we go. Scary sheath one out. We got our fresh new corner here. Pretty decent. Gets in there a little bit of a ways. I'm going to do the little shear test. Not much there. Wouldn't be whittling any wood with that. But overall, pretty solid knife. This one here, a little scary because it's very thin. I mean, it goes into the wood. Let's try our shear test. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that one will shave through the wood, no problem. Very thin, though. I don't think I'd use this as an actual knife. The back edge, even though it's not sharpened, it's very thin, so you don't want to put any pressure on it either. Okay, now for the possibly real or fake Gerber knife. Now, I know it sounds like I'm hitting this harder, but I'm kind of just swinging and letting the weight of it take it. But like, it is just, I could probably cut through this 2x4 with this in about 5 minutes. Little shave test. Nope, not much in the shave, but blunt force, that sucker will get some work done. All right, last up, the karambit. I mean, it gets in there pretty good. This one is super sharp. This one will bring out little tiny, super thin pieces of wood. All right, so this last one's a little tough because this one is awesome, but this one has a lot better look to it. But I think I'm gonna have to go with this one for the top 3. Okay, here are our top 3. We'll unsheath this last one here. So here we have the price for this one, and then this one will be over here. So price-wise, you guys let me know what you think, which one is best. These are my top 3. Everybody in the comments, here is your job. I want you to comment down below, knife 1, knife 2, or knife 3. Which one do you think is the best value, and which one would you pick? So put those down there. I'm not gonna choose this one, you are. If you enjoyed this kind of video, make sure to let me know that down below. But also, knife 1, 2, and 3, which one was your favorite? Which one would you pick? Like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you on the next one.